Hey class, this week we're going to be diving into the history of salt dough and talk about some of those origins. Hey class, so most of us are doing this at home thing, or we're learning at home, working at home. I'm working in a whole different studio now. So I want to have a series devoted for my ceramic class, specifically for clay, but let's get into the history of this stuff to see where it came from. Now, I'm going to be putting the links down in the description of where I got my information from. So two things up front. One, I'm sourcing a lot of my information offline, so we do our own research. Second thing is I was not a linguist. I took a couple years of German and I can say several words in different languages, but I am not a linguist. So I am going to be butchering a number of these things just because that's the nature of the beast. Now, ceramics is one of the most ancient industries going back thousands of years. Humans discovered that clay could be found in abundance and formed into objects by first mixing with water and then firing. And this, a key industry, was born. The oldest known ceramic artifact is dated as early as 28,000 years ago BC. So, way super long time ago. This was like Paleolithic era, like dinosaurs were dead. But like that puts you in like perspective of like you understand like that was a long time ago. Now, this oldest piece found was a statuette of a woman named the Venus of Dolini Visconti. There's like a picture. Okay. Now, from a small prehistoric settlement near Brno in the Czech Republic, in this location, hundreds of clay figurines represented the Ice Age animals were also discovered near the remains of horseshoe-shaped kilns. Now, these horseshoe-shaped kilns are kind of your traditional earthenware firing kiln. The thing that this reminds me of is an anagama kiln, which is a Japanese style kiln, sometimes referred to as the coffin, because it looks like a coffin. The anagami kilns are these long-bodied kilns, and they're not super tall. They come to about like waist high, and it's just this like little hole, and you have to crawl in on your belly to get to the back, and you have somebody handing you the ware, and you're stacking in the kiln, and as you're stacking it, you're backing back out of it. I don't like it because of the loading factor. Everything else is like the coolest thing ever, but the loading factor, it's a coffin, and I'm not claustrophobic, but you know what, that does push a lot of buttons. It wasn't pleasant. If you want me to do a thing on anagami kilns or other kilns in general, throw some down in the comments and I'll try and work on that video for us. Now, the first examples of pottery appeared in Eastern Asia several thousand years later in the Zhenrendong cave in China. Now, fragments of these pots date back between 18,000 and 17,000 BC years. These fragments date back as far as 18 to 17,000 years ago. It's believed that from China, the use of pottery successfully spread through Japan, Russia, the Far Eastern region, where archaeologists have found shards of ceramic artifacts dating back as much as 14,000 years ago. Now, salt dough is just as ancient as ceramics. Why? Because we like carbs. Now, salt dough and creating a dough-like structure to where you can manipulate it and form similar shapes to ceramics are going to be dated back as far as the, making bread, because salt dough is, well, it's a dough. You don't eat it. It's poisonous to you and to pets. Didn't know that, but it is. Salt dough is just as ancient as ceramics itself. The salt dough, the dough mixture that was being made, was going to be the same or similar to the mixture used for traditional bread making. Now, traditional bread making, we know, is a long-standing tradition in basic societies. There's still a record on the books for Egypt where bread is a form of currency, where bread is still a right of every citizen of Egypt. It's a staple of the diet. It's a staple of their culture. There's a reason why it's carved onto walls in sandstone inside of those pyramids, because it's a necessary thing. Now, salt and wheat flour were the two most common foodstuffs available to Egyptians. Bread was the staple diet for most Egyptians and the natron. Natural salt found in Egypt was commonly used as a food preservative. It is used. It's also used in the mummification process. Mummy time. In many past cultures, dough modeling. This is where I screwed up last time. Dough modeling. Let's try it again. Dough modeling. In many past cultures, dough modeling was tied up with religious beliefs and ceremonies, when sculptures would be offered as gifts to the gods or presents to people on important occasions. Now, examples of these would be weddings, christenings, funerals, etc. In Europe, the craft was much favored, especially in Germany, where the art was used widely in home decoration, especially during festive times. The materials needed to start dough making are very inexpensive, the majority of which you probably have in your kitchen or cupboard. Basic salt dough recipe: 2 cups of plain flour, 1 cup of table salt, and 1 cup of water. I got another video where I'm actually making this, so it's in a corner. I know it's in a corner. In ancient Egypt, the bread that was made from an ancient grain of wheat. It was called emmer. At the time, there were 2 types of grain in the Egyptians planted, which was wheat and barley. Wheat had an important status for the ancient Egyptian economy. It was not only used for bread making, it was also used as a form of payment. Wheat was both a strategic commodity of the state and kept in vaults, as well as an investment for more difficult times. Emmer earned its worth from its high fiber content, low gluten content, and organic quality. It was a food that both the rich and the poor ate, and it was a sacred plant to ancient Egyptian gods, and it was particularly relevant to Osiris. I hope you guys got something new out of today's lesson. So just diving back through the history of salt dough. So let's go ahead and take care of that homework for this week. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share on all the various platforms. Gotta get the message out there. Help as many students as we possibly can. Don't forget, if you had a question, comment, or concern, raise those hands down in the comments below. Happy to answer any questions from my classmates. As always, I will see you guys next class. Gotta make some more stuff for the walls in the new classroom. But until then, I will see you guys next class. Later, guys. Also, this is the second time I've recorded this because there was a section as I was editing where I was talking about this dough modeling, but every time that I was listening to it, it sounded like it's dough maling, which I know I was doing something with China, and I was talking about China in the way in some historical reference, but dough maling became the new catchphrase for a while, so I'll throw it in at the end. So just stay to the end. I'll put some outtakes in. So I wanted to create a cereal. I want some cereal.